Welcome everybody to episode 11 of the Geek Dad
11.
Report. As always, I am Brian, and this beautiful man over here to my one of these sides is Ryan, and we are
Hey,
here.
howdy.
We are here to bring you guys, give all you people all the information you need to know, so you can keep your valuable time just that valuable. Welcome back yet again, valuable friends, loyal listeners.
Good listeners that like to give us all those glorious views. So we
Yeah,
appreciate it.
we appreciate every single one of your reviews matter to us. So, as always, feel free to give us some feedback. Tell us what you guys think of the show, how we're doing, what you like, what you don't like, which hopefully will be not much. Follow us on Twitter, Brian West 53, Big Bruiser over there,
Big
or you can follow us
pretty
on the
easy.
on the website watchplayread.com. So there's all our shameless plugs on how you can find us. So yeah, please feel free to let us know how we're doing and if there's anything you think we should improve.
We're always looking forward to it.
We're always looking forward to it. So we figured we'd start, since it's episode 11. It's the second decade. We figured we'd once again, like I said, throw out all our little Twitter handles and
Mhm.
connect with our audience and give you guys an opportunity to let us know how we feel. Now that we've done all that, just so you guys know, we don't give a crap how any of you feel. We're going to do what we want to do, and we're going to keep doing what we want to do because that's how we got to episode 11. All right?
And Brian and I go get to talk, and so this is our special time together. We
So
are letting you guys in on our special, like,
our
May.
special time to geek out about things. We tell our wives we're doing like a show, but really we're just talking to each other. And we record
I
it.
I sent a text message to my wife tonight before the show started. It said, "I'm waiting for your call, sweet cheeks." And then she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, that was for Brian." She's like, "Okay, you're," and
Ooh,
so
I never got that text.
that's just the kind of relationship that we have.
Man. Hey.
So
All right. Well, we have clearly rambled long enough. So, like I said,
yes,
thank you back, everybody. Thank you for coming back, everybody. Sorry we missed you guys, everyone, last week. Anybody who tuned in and we weren't there. We both had a kind of a busy Memorial Day weekend, and we were not able to record. So we've got 2 weeks of jam-packed, valuable,
we
awesome
did.
news to share with you guys today.
I think we
So
should just dive into it.
let's do it, man. So first up
All
is
Point Break style.
Well, since you bring up Point Break, well, I guess our first story this week will be the Point Break remake has a trailer, and it's extreme to the max. Woo!
Stunts, 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 stunts. Yeah, it's just like it looked great on the stunts, but then the rest of you think the rest of the movie is gonna look like crap. So I mean,
If you don't know what we're talking about, just go to YouTube and type in Point Break, and it'll pop up. It's the remake. Point Break is the original movie, I think, in the early '90s, starring Keanu Reeves and the late Patrick Swayze. Kind of a cult classic. I know I love it, but they decided to make it like they do with everything in Hollywood. They've run out of ideas and they're remaking the movie. It's starring a bunch of no-name people. I will say this: when you watch the trailer, it looks like an ad for a Red Bull commercial. I mean, I feel like there should be guys slamming Red Bull, crushing them between their heads, and then jumping out of airplanes. It's very. I feel like the movie's going to be
double fisting
very.
monsters.
I feel like it's going to be very exciting, if not very memorable. The main leads, Johnny Utah and Bodhi, they don't seem like, I don't know, they don't seem like you're going to remember them when the movie's over. But it definitely seems like, you know what it seems like? It seems like Triple X without Vin Diesel, or or any Rock movie without The Rock. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. Take a look at the trailer. Let us know what you think. Like I said, hit us up on Twitter or on the website, Facebook, or just let us know what you guys think about it. I'm kind of mixed. Like I said, I think it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be action packed, but I don't think it's going to be it'll last in your memory. Plus, it's opening opposite Star Wars in December, so I don't know if anybody's going
Yeah,
to watch it.
that's pretty much just go down in tubes. I mean, anything. Star Wars is gonna dominate at least like the first 5 weeks.
At least, I bet you it dominates all the way through February. I mean, if it's good, I mean, even if it's bad, it'll dominate through January. If it's good, it might dominate till March. But to open it the same day as Star Wars, just tell you what, I don't know who made it. probably
Just
Fox.
throwing it out there.
You know what? This is
That's all
probably
they're doing.
Fox. This is classic Fox. So tell you what, Fox. Here's what we're gonna do. From now on, quit taking your money and lighting it on fire, and just give us some of your money, and I'll go in the backyard. Me and Ryan will shoot a movie. We'll beat each other up
Yeah.
with fake wiffle ball bats or something. You know,
We'll add some extra props to the show. So
we'll add some extra props to the show. So anyway, check out the trailer. Let us know what you think. Speaking of Disney, who's gonna crush Point Break, Star Wars. Disney is thinking about giving Star Wars and Marvel, its two recently acquired properties, their own television channels, a la like the Disney Channel or ESPN or Disney XD.
or the other 50 channels that they own that you don't even know about. So
Yeah, for those who don't know what Ryan's talking about, Disney is not just a place that makes movies, cute, cuddly mouses for children. It's a ginormous entertainment conglomerate, and it owns ABC, ESPN,
ABC Family,
ABC
all that.
Family, the world practically at this point. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
They
I don't see any downside to having a Marvel and Star Wars channel.
were they saying anything about if they'd be animated heavy or like live action?
They didn't say specifically. They're kind of just keying, just kind of toying with the idea. They don't have anything set in stone, but the idea would be would anything that falls into those worlds. So like right now on Disney XD, if you watch Marvel's Avengers, Hulk's Agents of Smash,
Star
Spider-Man,
Wars.
Star Wars Rebels. So obviously the Marvel titles. I know Guardians of the Galaxy is getting its own cartoon here soon. So any of those titles would fall into the Marvel side. Plus you have all the movies that you can run. You have all the you have Agents of Shield, Agent Carter. You have a lot of stuff that you could run under the Marvel name. Hopefully it would my hope would be is if they did that it would encourage them to make even more animated shows or maybe more. You could probably run Daredevil. They probably have a deal worked out with Netflix where they could run those shows. Same with Star Wars. I mean, they have Rebels, you have Clone Wars, the old Clone Wars you can run, you have the Star Wars movies. There's the often talked about, kicked around idea of a live action Star Wars TV show. So the thing that I would like to see is if they did that, it would probably encourage them to do more original programming, and that would be pretty cool for fans of the two properties. So, but my guess is yeah, you're probably right. Animated would probably be a big block of it.
Which I'm fine with. I love the animated shows that they have. So bring it,
Well,
Disney.
and the cool thing would be is that it would probably my favorite, the best part I think for me would be that it would once it got out and was successful, then Warner Brothers, who is always behind Marvel, would decide that then they could do
Everything.
their own show channel, which they should already do because they already have way more TV properties and way more animated properties. If they had a Warner Brothers or a DC channel, they could run great DC stuff literally all day long, and it would never get old. So you
Yeah.
know.
Well, and speaking of Warner Brothers, the the Suicide Squad footage that now shows Batman. And
Yeah,
I
what Ryan's talking about is if you don't know, basically all the security team for for the Suicide Squad movie should all be fired immediately because it seems like daily, not just pictures are leaking out, but like actual footage of the movie being shot is being leaked out. And just this last week, it showed the Batmobile chasing the Joker mobile, which is a decked out purple Lamborghini. And today, actually, just released that it showed a picture of Batman on top of the Lamborghini, about to punch through it. So yes, Batman, Ben Affleck, Batman on top of the Joker Lamborghini. So Batman will be in the Suicide Squad.
I don't know. I'm hoping it's starting to seem like they're kind of taking cues from that animated movie that they did, Escape from Arkham.
Yeah. No, no, totally. And I think we talked about that. I think that's the best. Honestly, I think that's the best way to do it. That was one of my. I think we both loved that movie. That was one of my favorite animated
Yeah,
movies they
I
did.
thought it was great. Batman was just like a side character. Like they showed him, in a couple of scenes that what he's doing, but but it focuses mostly on the Suicide Squad
Well,
and them trying to bust the Joker out of a Arkham Asylum. So I don't know. I'm kind of interested in how they're tying all these things together. I mean, like with Marvel, they introduce a character and then introduce a character, then Avenger, and
mhm.
then so I'm just kind of interested in how WB and DC are trying to take their new movie properties. So
Well, especially since they're launching with basically a Justice League prequel is kind of their launching their. I mean, obviously they launched it with the Man of Steel a couple years ago. It was kind of the first leg in this, even though it didn't really open the world up. It was the first character from this world. But this
Hmm.
one's the one that's really going to open up the universe to everybody. It's got Wonder Woman and just Batman and everybody in it. So I don't know. We've talked about this at length. We're both really intrigued by the idea of Suicide Squad, but I do really like how they're putting Batman in here. And that, like, we get back to the cartoon for a second. Was the cool thing about that was they made Batman kind of the boogeyman. He just showed up. He's only in the movie for
Yeah.
about 5 minutes, but every time he did, everybody was like, "Man, it's the Batman!" Gosh, and they're just
Like,
diving and hiding.
Batman's here. Like,
He
damn
shows up for
it.
2 minutes, knocks everybody out, slaps people around, and then leaves. And it was like, I mean, his presence was felt throughout the entire movie, but he was only in a few scenes. And I really do hope this movie does the same thing. I mean, it could just be a classic case of Batman's chasing down the Joker and he's only in it for a few minutes. But I'm kind of bummed though. I mean, I kind of miss the days when things didn't get spoiled every 2 seconds. I mean, how great would it be to
Yeah.
not know that Batman is in the Suicide Squad, to maybe just guess or see maybe a hint in a trailer? But I mean, we know there's a full-on chase scene with Batman. He's not just going to show up in the shadows. He's chasing down the Joker in the Batmobile and then punching through the roof of the Joker mobile.
Yeah. it it's kind of like what I was telling you earlier that I remember back, in the 90s, way back in the day when dinosaurs roamed the earth, and you didn't get a new trailer or even know like a movie was coming out until you went and saw a freaking movie at the theater
You
and you
got
saw the
you
trailer
got
for
a
the
you
first
got a
time at the
teaser.
theater and you're like, oh,
You got
and
a
you like look at your
teaser.
buddies, you're all like hitting each
Yeah,
other and like,
you got
oh god,
one
oh that's
teaser
awesome.
trailer. You got one teaser trailer, and then like 6 months early, and then like a month before, you got a trailer, and then they had one on TV, and that's all you got. Now you get a
Yeah.
teaser for the teaser,
Yeah, or God, that just annoys me when they do that.
or now
Cause
you just have.
I've been doing pretty good. I largely avoid like a lot of those. I mean, I know which websites to go to that are
Mhm.
not going to post a lot of that stuff and which ones aren't. And so I'm able to avoid a lot of stuff like spoiler wise, but it's hard
I just
trying
don't.
to
Yeah,
like not get stuff ruined,
I
you
watch
know?
one trailer to see if the movie looks interesting, maybe a second if I'm not sold on it. But after that, like if it's a movie like Jurassic World, I watched the first trailer. I have yet to see another trailer other than the very first one they released because it had me already like Star Wars. I'm gonna watch Star Wars trailers, but after this next one, I'm just not gonna watch anymore because I don't need to watch Star Wars. You could just
Yeah.
tell me when it's gonna be, and I'll just show up. I don't need a trailer to
Yeah.
tell me that I need to
Yeah,
go see Star
Jurassic
Wars.
World. I
So
mean,
I don't.
Jurassic World is
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and it just seems like everything. I mean, Deadpool started. I mean, every day there's a new screenshot of Deadpool doing something, or a new picture of Deadpool doing something from the set. Um, Now, like I said, Suicide Squad every single day. Now there's actual footage. I've seen that Captain America 3, Civil War. It just started shooting about a week ago, and there's already footage of the Winter Soldier in action, of Black Widow. I mean, all these people. There's already these footage leaked out. I haven't watched any of it because I'm really excited to see it, and we'll talk a little bit more about some of the stuff we did see from that. That's cool. Some of the actual pictures tweeted out by the cast, but I don't know. Whoever's releasing all this stuff, I know the news. Everybody wants to be first, so they get all the clicks. But please quit posting, you know,
or
un-CGI stills of movies. I mean, Batman it's cool to you see Batman on top of the Joker mobile, but he doesn't have his cape on because he's got his little dots
yeah.
where they're gonna put his cape in later. It just doesn't look cool. It kind of kills the magic of the movie.
Yeah. And like Jeff Gold, I mean, I don't mind Jeff Goldblum filming Independence Day 2 right now. And he just sent a picture of himself from the set.
And that's
And
yeah, that's
that's
fine.
fine. I think that kind of stuff is exciting and that stuff's cool, but he's not ruining anything. It's like, look, I'm filming this movie that everyone in the 90s saw 100 times because
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine if back in the day when before Empire Strikes Back came out, if a set photo had been released of Luke with no hand, and
yeah.
and Vader was holding a script that says like "I am your father" on it. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I just people, please quit releasing all this stuff. I don't mind a little. I know we've gone back and forth, and I talked with Kyle on the website about he doesn't like leaked footage like of trailers. I don't have a problem with someone. You should never take your phone into a movie theater, but if someone like takes a 2 minute, like when the Batman Superman trailer got leaked out. Okay, that's a trailer, people, but don't leak out footage of the movie. Don't spoil it. Don't film things. Release it online. I don't know. I am very
Mm.
excited for Suicide Squad. I think it's gonna be cool. I know a lot of people are mad about the Joker, but I don't know. I think Batman. I will say though, every time I see the Batman suit, I fall more and more in love with it, and I think that
Yeah,
it's becoming my favorite. And I haven't even seen it like in action yet. It just looks awesome. It looks
and
like the
I'm
Batman.
glad about Ben Affleck being Batman.
Oh
So
yes, I am. Yes, I am very excited about Ben Affleck being Batman. A couple of things we did talk about from just to go back to the Captain America. Some of the things that have been officially released that I'm excited about is they showed the first. They've been releasing a lot of pictures of some of the cast and stuff, and Crossbones was in it. He was one of the villains from the second movie. I don't remember his name, but he's the guy at the very end who was Hydra, and then he got burnt really bad. He looks pretty cool. He looks a lot like in the comic book. He's one of Captain America's big enemies, so it's kind of cool to see him back. Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner.
yeah,
He actually released the. He was sitting in his chair. It looked like he was in the new Avengers building, and he's sitting in his chair, and it has the new logo for Captain America: Civil War, which is pretty cool. It shows Civil War, and it has like a shield going through the middle of it, so it's pretty cool. Black Widow, like I said, there's some pretty cool pictures. If you guys want to see stuff that's not spoilerific, you can hop on all the. They're all tweeting it on their website, so or on Twitter. So follow them, and they posted some pretty cool pictures. But it's early, but so far so good. I mean, not that we were worried that it wasn't going to be great, but everything I'm seeing so far looks cool. A few of the shots I've showed of Bucky Winter Soldier, he looks just like he did in the last movie, and that's good. He's looked awesome. So
mm,
pretty excited about that. Another franchise that I know me and you are very excited about, but maybe the rest of the world may not be as excited or aware of, is the Conan franchise. Yes. So
King Conan
King Conan.
actually.
So if you're unfamiliar with Conan, Conan was written by Robert E. Howard back in the day, and it was turned into comic book series, pulp novels, and then made its way in the
It
80s.
actually started out in a lot of magazines, like horror magazines, like
Horror magazines. So like yeah, like the
H.P.
pulp fiction.
Lovecraft, like kind of got like his start was just doing like a whole bunch of just selling his publications to magazines and all those kind of things, and then they were later adapted into novels and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and
But
it follows Conan the Barbarian, basically in barbarian days. He has a big, huge sword, and if you don't know who Conan is, I honestly recommend that you go. I think it's '82, the 19 Arnold Schwarzenegger classic film Conan the Barbarian. It is way over the
yes,
top. It's insanely crazily awesome, and if you haven't seen it,
but
just
at the
watch it.
very end of that movie is Conan sitting on a throne, just looking bored as hell
Yeah.
because he's a king. He becomes eventually he becomes the king of a country called Equinonia. And yes, I'm a big Conan nerd. I've read like every comic book on from Dark Horse, and
He
I read
is.
a
He's a
lot
big
of
Conan.
Larry Howard stories. But he becomes a king, and in his old age, he starts telling like the stories, and that's how all the comic books go. But the new movie is King Conan, which is going to be I don't know if they're doing like he already has the
Well,
kingdom, if he's
so
going
okay,
to be
so first of
secure.
all, it's technically not King Conan. They've announced it's going to be called Legend of Conan the Barbarian. I know you do, that we both hope that they eventually change that to just King Conan and go with it, because that's always been kind of the working title of this. Real quick, back to Conan the Barbarian. It also spawned a sequel, Conan the Destroyer. Not nearly as good, but if you haven't seen them, watch them both. But yes, it's going to take place. Supposedly, he's now king. He's old. If you, I follow Arnold on Facebook, and he did a little post about. He just saw the script of it. He said the script is insanely brutal. It's a direct sequel to Conan the Barbarian and Destroyer. It's action packed. It's super realistically violent. It's way over the top. Kind of he didn't want to give too much about the details. He said there's some rewrites going on, but it's basically about Conan going out in just epic style. Like he's looking for one last amazing adventure to be to he's old now. He's reached the end of his Conan's always been about like dominating and being the best there is, and now he's old and people want what he has and they think he's weak, and he wants to go out and prove everybody that he's still Conan the Barbarian. So I don't care. It's got Arnold as Conan. I'm in. Sign me up. We don't
It's
need a
like
trailer.
Fury Road. It's like Fury Road, where it's got big explosions, cars running around doing stuff, weird ass costumes, and Mad Max. That's all we need in it. And Conan, we just need people just getting killed and
Oh
Arnold
yeah.
just you know
Yeah, slow motion
yeah,
with heads flying up in the air. It's gonna be
yeah,
great, man. It's got
yeah.
supposedly they didn't say which ones, but supposedly three of the original cast members are all coming back for the movie. Obviously Arnold's one of them, so I'm not sure who else the other ones are. Um, I believe the wizard. I was at Mako. I don't think he's. I think he passed, so I don't think it's gonna be him. But
Yeah. I think he died a long time ago.
yeah, I thought he died a while ago. So unless they actually bring in a wizard and bring him back, that would be ironic.
Yeah.
Irony: the wizard who died was brought back
Yes.
by a wizard to play a wizard again. Um, you know,
Sathaman.
yeah.
That
So
sounds
I don't know who else, but it's going to be awesome. I don't really care. The other cool little bit of news with Conan is shared universes are all the rage nowadays. So they're also looking to hopefully create a shared universe with the Legend of Conan the Barbarian, which hence maybe why they're doing some rewrites. Um, which actually I think would work if they do it right, because a lot of people also don't know that Conan shares the same world as Red Sonja, Cole the Conqueror, which was a you know bad but
it's
entertaining
kind of
movie
like
with
a
Kevin Sorbo a few
Call
years
the
back.
Conqueror is kind of like a Conan light to
Yeah,
me.
Conan Light. I'm trying to remember. There's one more character that's kind of famous.
King.
No, there's oh, I can never
Uh,
remember his name. He plays like a he's got a big funny hat. Solomon Kane.
yeah,
Solomon Kane is the
that's
other
what.
one that they created in that world. So the world is definitely ripe for a fairly not Marvel size, but a decent shared universe with some cool stories. So that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it's old sword and sorcery kind of stuff. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. It's like I said, if you haven't watched Conan, skip the remake they did with Jason Momoa. It has no heart. It's really not good. Just watch Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer, and then you'll be ready for Legend of Conan the Barbarian. Don't watch it with the kids though. Very violent and lots of female body parts.
yes, it was the '80s in its finest. So,
And Conan, just an Arnold, just like just yoked out of his mind, looking like
what
a.
is best in life?
It's a great movie.
Awesome
If you
movie.
don't grant me victory, to
Very
hell with
cool.
you. I do it myself. It's great. It's a great movie. So watch Conan Barbarian for me and Ryan just totally geek out over here.
Yes.
One more little bit of shared universe news, and then we'll rapid fire through a couple of these last couple of things before we get onto our recommendations. So Transformers, we told you guys a while ago that Transformers they're working on getting a shared universe for Transformers. They brought together a whole bunch of writers to work on a brain trust to flesh out 5, 6, 7 movies they want to do. I don't know if there's that many stories to be told, but that's what they want to do. But I am starting to become a little impressed with some of the writers they're bringing in. They brought in the Iron Man writers. They brought in Zach Penn, who did Pacific Rim. They just the biggest one they just added that actually intrigues me is they just added Robert Kirkman. If you don't know who Robert Kirkman is, he's the guy who writes The Walking Dead, and
Well,
so
if they can salvage, I mean, I saw the first one and nothing really inspired me about it, and then I saw the second one and I never wanted to see another Transformer movie.
well, they're big dumb fun. I'm a Michael Bay apologist, and even the fourth, even I can't defend the fourth one. It was awful. The second and third one had some things that I enjoyed, but the first one was a lot of fun, and it was a really good movie. Well,
Mm,
it was it was really good for what it was, but it was very
yeah,
entertaining. And if they can do more of that, yeah, I'm with you. So some of the ideas supposedly on the table right now is a Bumblebee solo movie, which I mean, we all love Bumblebee. He doesn't talk, so I mean, it all kind of just depends on who you cast to play off him. And the other one that does kind of intrigue me, I'd like to know how they do it, is they're talking about doing a Transformer Cybertron, an origin movie for Transformers, which would be really cool, except for the fact that you'd have no humans. Either the movie would have to be completely animated or completely CGI'd. So, but if they did a cool script and they did it right, it might be fun. It might be entertaining. So,
the
I don't
only
know.
thing about that for me with Transformers is that I think that it is much more of an animated than it is a live action.
Yeah.
That Transformers is better quality, and you can the series deserves to be animated or CGI, computer, just like Star Wars Rebels or
Well,
something
yeah, I
like
was
that.
gonna say,
I don't think
Pixar.
it doesn't translate well for me, at least in a live action space.
Well, and I think Pixar's proven, if anything, that you can tell an amazing story and do it animated. So if they got some good enough writers, and maybe like you said, maybe Transformers Best Days are as kind of a CGI type property. You have a few real movies, but you tell a lot of the really good stories, Pixar style. So I don't know, I'd be down with that. So we're pretty much out of time. There's a few more stories I want to give you guys since we took last week off, so we're gonna have a little bit of a jam-packed episode this week. So real quick, a little more Star Wars news. Andy Serkis, the guy who's best known for Gollum. He also played Caesar. He's a stop motion specialist. He's amazing with the suits on. Yeah. He's been known that he's going to be in Star Wars, but no one knew who he's going to play. So it's been revealed today that he's going to be Supreme Leader Snoke. No one really knows exactly who that is. Everyone's assuming it's the villain. It is going to be a completely digitally rendered character. So let the speculation begin. My guess is he's going to be the new Emperor type character in this show, so I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, it's a Supreme Leader
Yeah, so
kind of
Leader
title.
Snoke doesn't sound friendly.
Yeah.
You don't go to
I feel
tea.
bad. I feel bad. The guy like never gets to actually show his real face in a movie. He's always like CGI
Avengers,
something.
Avengers 2. He played Avengers 2. He played Captain Claw. Remember the arms dealer?
Oh yeah, that's right.
So anyway, there's that. Any Star Wars news is good Star Wars news, so we're excited about that. Jaws is getting re-released in theaters for its 40th anniversary on June 21st and June 24th. So it's going to be 500 select theaters. If you've ever been to movies early, you've seen that they have those Fathom ads of Fathom events where they do like opera and stuff from the theater. They're the ones sponsoring it. So if you're interested in seeing Jaws in the theater, if you never got to see it in there, I might have to check it out. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be available next month. So check it
We'll
out. It's a
probably
great
do a
movie.
giveaway for it. Usually we work with Fathom for Watch Play Read, so
Okay.
keep an eye out. We might be doing a giveaway
Yeah,
for it.
definitely. Look, I go. I want to go. That movie
Yeah.
terrified me. I am still to this day afraid of sharks because I watched Jaws when I was 8. It's horrible. Ant-Man is coming out soon. Got a cool new poster. They've been releasing some posters. Not too much to talk about. This one's much more of an action poster. It's got him flying around on a bee or an ant with bullets flying by him. So it looks pretty cool. I'm excited for that. Speed Racer is getting rebooted by the Japanese. I'm not sure if it's the original company who did it, but it's a Japanese company who's going to redesign it. They said they're going to, not much details. They just said they're going to redesign it for an updated generation. So my guess is it'll be
Is that animated or live action?
it's going to be the cartoon. So I watched it when I was a kid. I don't remember a lot of it. Like I
Uh,
said,
it was that was slightly before my time.
it's kind of when
So
Japanimation was kind of making its way over to America in general. I mean, it's a fun show. Chris Pine, better known as Captain Kirk nowadays, is in talks to play Steve Trevor, who is who will be Wonder Woman's love interest in the new standalone Wonder Woman movie. So I haven't heard a lot of not been a lot of news for Wonder Woman. There's been a couple of pretty cool concept art pieces that have made their way on the internet of what she's supposed to look like in the new movie. They're kind of cool. You can check them out and Google them, show them up. But anyway, like I said, this is the first little bit of news for some casting other than just Gail Gadot. My only concern with that, I like Chris Pine a lot, but he's very charismatic. I want Wonder Woman movie to be about Wonder Woman, and I
yeah.
want it to. I don't want her to be upstaged by Chris Pine, who I do enjoy. So I don't know. We'll see. He's. I think in the comics he's a lieutenant. He flies planes. It's kind of like honestly, he's like Hal Jordan without the Hal Jordan without the powers, and he
Yeah.
works for the government. He ends up being Wonder Woman's liaison to the government for whatever she's doing. So I don't know, we'll see. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but we shall see. Little bit of news here. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is getting a reboot by Fox. So Alan Moore, if you're
I'm
not
not.
familiar with the property,
I
Alan
don't
Moore.
mind that.
Yeah, the movie that they did a few years back wasn't good, but I found it entertaining. I mean, it wasn't terrible. I mean, it was terrible, but it was fun terrible. Like, had Sean Connery just chewing up the screen as Alan Quartermain. It was cool. But anyway, no word on exactly how they're going to reboot it, whether it's going to be a show or a movie. My guess is probably a movie. But I do think League of Extraordinary Gentlemen would be right for a TV show. I actually think that might make a pretty good show. Anyway, check it out. You can read the comics by Alan Moore. He's a little strange, but he's a really good writer. So there's a whole bunch of those shows out. Disney, in an effort to remake every single property they have into a live-action movie and literally suck the money out of every parent alive, is
Yeah,
announcing
do what you gotta do.
another live-action movie called Tink, and it's about Tinkerbell. and it's going to star Reese Witherspoon, and that's all we know. So I
Mm. And I've had a crush on Reese Witherspoon for a very long time, but I don't know if I can justify Tinkerbell. I mean, it's
well,
just
now's your chance to
I've
see
had
her.
enough of the stupid. You have girls. You probably watched all the
The,
Adventures of Fairyland
oh
and
yeah, the
all
Neverland
the
Beast. We just watched the Neverland Beast. Yeah.
yeah yeah. So yeah, I hate Tinkerbell. I hope she dies.
Well, that would be quite the turn of events in their movie. Tinkerbell, the Revenge.
Tinkerbell hanging by her noose.
Tinkerbell is Pixie to her last fairy. I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
she
so
she
the
dies
last,
from she's snorting pixie dust and she has a bad
she's in rehab. She
OD
actually
from
can't
pixie
fly. She
dust.
just thinks she can because she's. It's actually like a movie. It's a sad, depressing movie of a mid-30s lady who could never give up her childhood. Who's been sprinkling special dust on her for years. She thinks she could fly. That's a terrible idea. I'm now depressed after just thinking about that. How dare you? You've ruined. I don't care. I don't care about
I'm,
Tinkerbell.
I'm sorry I ruined Tinkerbell for you. Should we
Uh,
just go to the recommendations and call it good?
well, one last thing. We've already gone this long. We're going to talk about
What?
it. M. Night Shyamalan,
Oh God.
in an effort to not be kicked out of Hollywood for making terrible movies, is trying to revive the sequel to Unbreakable, one of his, I think it was his second movie. He wants to do it in a TV, a cable series, kind of a la like Fargo or whatever. He wants to do like a 13 episode sequel season to Unbreakable. So I don't know. I really liked Unbreakable. If it was done right, it'd be cool. But I just feel like this is just a desperate. This is like a death gasp from a dying man's career trying to grab a hold of something.
Can they bring back? I mean, is that something that Bruce Willis would want to, do
Yeah,
in a TV format? I mean,
that is the one thing that I would be on board with. If Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson were able to, if they were on board to reprise their roles in that, that would be interesting because they were both really good in that movie. And it's a very slow movie, but it's actually kind of a, if anybody hasn't seen Unbreakable, it's almost like a comic book movie in essence. It's about superheroes and it's just kind of a real slow, dark version of superheroes. But I don't know.
it's
So
a very slow burn,
but
and
it's got a good payoff and it's a good movie. But like I said, to me, this reeks of just kind of a last desperate attempt to try and revive a once glorious career, once promising
yeah.
career. So I don't
Glorious
know.
career. Two movies. That's not a glorious
Hey, The
career. I
Sixth
mean,
Sense was amazing and everybody
yeah,
loved it.
Six Sense,
So all right, so
and Unbreakable blew everyone away, and then
let
like
me.
after,
Signs was okay. Let me rephrase that. A once promising career that has
yes,
done this
that's the one.
is trying to be reborn. So I don't know. We'll see. But nothing confirmed. He's just kind of plugging it out there right now. So if we hear anything, we'll let you guys know. So that's it. That's it for the news. So
Uh,
we'll move on to our, what you should or should not waste your time doing. Ryan, as always, would like to go first.
I haven't done too much in this past week, but Naked and Afraid has been doing a lot of marathons. And I don't know why, but for some reason my wife and I really like that show. It's like one of the shows that we watch together now, and you see a lot of butts all over, but
It
I
always
mean
gets me. It sucks you
it's
in.
just
You walk
crazy.
by.
Like this one lady, like you get to take one thing with you, and this lady brings a magnifying glass. And she thought she was just, like so smart because she brought a magnifying glass. Like, oh, I can do so much stuff with it. And it's like the other guy's like, I brought a freaking machete, and and you bring a magnifying glass? Like, oh, you can use it to start fires? And yeah, and she was terrible with it.
I
She
would
was using
bring.
it to try and boil water with it. She's a freaking idiot. I
I would
mean,
bring a pair of Nikes because I have the world's worst feet ever, and as far as like they're so sensitive. My wife tells me all the time I got girl feet, which I don't get because her feet are super awesome. My feet are just like I step on a little
yeah.
pebble and I'm like ooh, bouncing around. I'd bring tennis shoes. I'd hide a switchblade in there though, so I could pull out a knife and stab something with it. But yeah, that's I'm with you, man. That show, my wife loves the show, and every time I try to pretend like I don't like it, I'm like, yeah, and then I'm like, ooh, 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 what just happened? What's he doing?
Yeah.
You sit and
Why
watch
is
it
there
with her for like an
fighting?
hour. You just take a
Yeah.
little peek for a minute. So All right, well, Ryan recommends getting your freak on watching Naked and Afraid.
It's not freak on. You just see a bunch of butts all over the place and a lot of blurry.
Yeah, I see why you like it,
Just
Ryan. Pervert. All right, well, I guess it's on to me now. Watch Naked and Afraid. Watch it with your spouse. My wife loves it
yes.
too, so one of those show. Um, my recommendation for the week is not anything you can do. It's kind of something that's helped me do more things. I recommend this little thing. It's all the rage nowadays. It's called the Fitbit here. As you can see, it's a little wristband that I wear on my wrist here. It just kind of snaps on. Um, like I said, you've probably seen a lot of people wearing them lately. Don't look at it just as one of these crazy, health phases. This thing has actually been really, really helpful for me. So basically, what the Fitbit is you wear it. It comes with a companion app on your phone. I'll show you that in a second. It's this little piece right here that plugs right into your device. And what this is a motion tracker. Basically, it tracks your motion and it logs a whole bunch of data. And so by itself, it doesn't really do anything. But what it does do that's pretty cool is it gives you all the information you need on a cool little companion app. I don't know if you guys can see this. Very good. See, this is just some of the stuff I've done today. So basically, it tells you how many steps you've walked, how many calories you've burned. You can put in your target goal, like what weight you want to be at, and then it helps you log everything in. It also tracks your sleep patterns. One of the most important things it's done for me is it helps me. You log in your calories and what you've eaten, and just by doing that, it's been crazy how much I've realized that some of the things I've eaten, how unhealthy they are for me or how many calories they do have and things you never think about. And so what it does is it really makes you aware of what you're putting into your body, and it helps you. If you're like me, it's not that I don't want to eat healthy or do healthy things. Sometimes I just don't have the information I know. I don't know how much I'm actually exercising, or I don't know how many calories I'm actually consuming. And what this thing does is by itself it does nothing. But if you put all the information in, it allows you to say, oh, look, I burned 3,500 calories today, and I ate, 4,000. Okay, well, I need to drop 1,000 calories a day if I want to lose weight. So it's very informative. It's helped me a lot. In 3 short weeks, I've actually lost 14 pounds already. So Fitbit, if you'd like to call me and give me a sponsorship, hey. But honestly,
I'll
I
take
have
one too.
literally given up nothing. I still eat ice cream when I want to. I still eat pretty much whatever I want to. It's just now I actually keep track of what it is I'm eating, how much of I'm eating, and if I want to have a peanut butter jelly sandwich and some chips for lunch, I say, okay, well now I know when I eat dinner, I got to eat a lighter dinner or a lighter breakfast because I've already consumed a bunch of calories. So it doesn't stop you from eating what you want to do or doing what you want to do. It just inspires you to eat better. And also too, when you get close, you say your step goal or your distance, it logs your exercise or whatever you want to do. When you get close, I found myself now when I get home from work where I used to just be like, I'm home from work, I'm not doing anything. Now I'll look and be like, oh my God, I'm only 2,000 steps away from my goal. Hey family, let's go for a walk and we go to the park or something. So it's motivated me to be a lot more, you know, active. And so, like I said, you can get it on Amazon for this one right here is I don't know, this is kind of the low end of them. You can get them for $89.99. They have, they go on up from there if you want to spend more money. You can get fancy ones with a buckle and a heartbeat monitor, but I don't know. This one's done the job for me. I think it's great. By itself, it's just, it's not going to do anything for you, but if you want a cool, helpful tool to help you get in shape and be more active, I highly recommend the Fitbit. Boom, $89.99 on Amazon. Thank you very much. So, on that note, we're out of here. Thanks for joining us for another episode, another fun-filled, super long, awesome. I mean, we always talk
Yeah,
about making it
that
shorter, but
was a great 20 minutes, right, guys?
yeah, it's 20 minutes, kind of almost like 38. No big deal, but we have
Yeah.
a lot of awesome to talk about. So anyway, hope you guys join us next week. Thanks for joining us this week. You got anything to say, Ryan?
Uh, I need some dancing baby Groot.
Well, luckily for you.